Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Phil. I am the Down Under Maker. How is everybody this morning? Just turning my audio monitor to mute. Give me one moment, and that's gone. Okay, so it sounds like we've got audio, and I'll just wait for everybody in chat to say hi and all the rest of that kind of stuff. It seems like there's a little bit of latency this morning, so we'll just have to wait for that to catch up a little bit, I think. We have Farm Tech. Hello. We also have Raj, Greg, Jeff, and Vince in the chat. Oh, yeah, Raj is there. Yep. So hopefully we'll get more people as the stream progresses. Where are we at? We are at the point where I need to get rid of that tab, otherwise it's going to irritate me. Sorry, what I do is just at the beginning of streams, I have me up on YouTube as well as me up on OBS, just so I can make sure that the stream actually works. And yeah, having two different time lags, it messes with my brain. So where are we at? We are currently still trying to put together my put back together my Voron 2.4 after lots and lots of smoke got released. This is another Octopus because the one I was sent had been restocked, returned to the AliExpress seller, and then sent to me. And the one that's currently in the machine had the pixies let out by somebody else. So yeah, still waiting to get that fully resolved and get my money back. But in the meantime, I ordered a new one. This time it's a H723 based Octopus. So that means not a lot other than it's slightly different chipset, and it has a different kind of CAN bus port. Other than that, a couple of pinouts changed, but I've already tweaked that in the config, and we should be good. Another thing we might get to today, is, if things aren't going nicely with the Octopus, is we might put together the A4T toolhead that Jake very nicely sent me a fan for. Thank you, Jake. And we'll get that ready for the ongoing Mercury 1 conversion we're doing on the Ender 5 that's in the background behind me. You will also possibly notice during the course of the stream that I've tidied up a little bit. Basically, I've got something I'm planning and won't tell you exactly what, but I've got something coming, and hopefully that will mean that we get a whole bunch more subscribers after that. So let's get this all going, shall we? Yes, there we go. It's working. So this is the replacement Octopus. Where's that box? This is a box full of drivers. And this is something that I've been thinking about for a while. It's a template. You can put it over your drivers, and it helps you put the heatsink into place accurately every time, so you don't cock it up and it all looks even. Because there's nothing more annoying than having your drivers all over the place, and it affects people's OCD. So I'm not seeing anybody chatting in chat, but I'll assume that everybody's happy and everything's working. Is it working? Hello, anybody? Check my Discord just in case. Let's go to here and here. Yep, it appears like nobody's chatting, but oh well, we'll just keep going. Right, I am definitely live. Oh, Raj is here. Yeah, hello. Hi, Raj. So, I had a chat with the company that supplied me with some special high voltage steppers, and they'd rather I keep them off camera for now. So, just for now, we're going to just set the whole thing up with 2209 drivers. Minimize, there we go. Bring that back up there. Yep. Okay. So let's see if we can make this all nice and close. Not sponsored by MSI, it's just simply that it's easier to deal with. Oh, the chat's not working on screen. Give me one moment, everybody. I thought I'd fixed this already. There we go. That's betterer. Much more betterer. So, this little template, it's basically designed to mesh with the diag pins and the 3 other pins that stick up, but it's got little cutouts to allow you to fit it over the stumpy bits higher up on that stick up on the rest of the pins. And there. Now, let's very carefully put this in. Double checking that the pins on every side are all in place. Yep, that's all good. And pop. That seems to work. Now, if anybody wants this file for doing their drivers, ping me on Discord and I will post it up. It's based on something I saw on printables, which didn't suit my needs, but it gave me the inspiration to do something a little bit closer to what I wanted. Now, it's only available as an STL at the moment because I did it in Tinkercad because I was being lazy. Double checking all the pins all the way around and pop. Now, I don't know about Raj. I don't think he got a Founders Edition index for his Prusa, but I am currently waiting for my email to say my Founders Edition has been shipped. So those streams will be coming in the not too distant future. Double checking all the way around again and pop. Next. Yeah, Raj, the jig is just, it's always bothered me that I've never been able to get the heat sinks reasonably well aligned, and it's not perfect even now. I can see there's ever so slight variance between them, but it's an awful lot better than it used to be. And I can now guarantee that I'm not accidentally going to short the pins on the bottom of the heatsink. In fact, now having used it, I know now that I could make some very fine adjustments to some of the surfaces to give it a little bit less slack, make it a little bit less forgiving, but that will also mean that the results are better. Double checking all the way around and pop. So that's 4, we need 6 in total, and the last 2 drivers sockets will be spare. Now the package I ordered was 8 drivers, so I'm going to have 2 spares that I'll leave tucked away in my stash for safety. Keeping been gifted a trident. That's amazing. So what you're saying is you need to wait for the dev kit public release to come out so you can convert that one too. Nope, not quite right. There we go. What's going on, Greg? That one fitted much nicer than the previous ones. Yep, all the pins are in. Oh, it's not 100% perfect, but they're pretty close. Can't believe the hate you're hearing about Bontech. Who's hating on Bontech? Bontech are working their asses off. Those crazy Vikings are finally shipping. I mean, there's going to be lots of people who are salty that they aren't being sent influence units, because that's not what Bontech does to a large extent. Though it's a very close circle of influencer units, but I've been talking to a bunch of the regular creators, and from what I can tell, there isn't going to be very many influencer units sent, and they're not being sent until after all the Founders editions are gone. So Founders are going to be showing pictures off first. Oh, you should have seen that Discord, Greg. It's been, yeah, every other day there's been people just whinging and complaining. Where's my index? I want to order index. Why can't I order index? It's like, guys, Founders Edition is just about ready. In fact, I'm being heckled by one of the Bontech regulars on my Discord at the moment, asking if I've let the smoke out of my index yet. I don't have an index yet, dude. Okay, so where are we at? We have all 6 of the drivers we need. A, B, Z, Z1, Z2, Z3 are all in place. Now, you might be wondering, why have I got that blank JST plugged in there? That blank JST is for the fact that if you have a look closely on the board, 2 of those sockets are multiplexed. So motor 2.1, motor 2.2 are the exact same port, and rather than make a mistake plugging things in, I always blank them off so that I'm not struggling and confused and not knowing what's going on. So I tell them to go buy a U1. Yeah, exactly. It's not an open source product. It's a for-profit product. It was never released to be open source. And they know full well that there's going to be knockoffs in a very rapid pace, but the geometry and the metallurgy, it's going to be complex to get right. And in fact, the whole reason that we've had another couple of weeks delay was they realized they'd got heat creep and that there was something they could do about it. And that change makes it even more complex to manufacture. So it's not going to be just something that can be machined up on CNC. It's going to take a lot more than that. That jumper there, I think we might need to remove. So I'm going to bring up the there we go. GitHub Big Tree Tech Octopus Pro. And there we go. So remember at the beginning of the stream, I was saying that I needed to make some pin changes. This is basically it. The Octopus Pro has moved some pins around. And that's all been done already in my config, but we'll double check that just to be sure. In fact, while we're waiting for this, let's power up the printer, because that Raspberry Pi takes a little while to get its acts together. I'm still yet to reflash it. Just going to unplug that one because that's what connects it to the rest of the printer. And tuck that in there. That we can all get to. Okay. Sorry. I was off over here playing with the printer. There we go. Now you can see stuff. Let's see if I can square this up a little bit so you guys aren't all seasick. There, that should be good. Right. What are we looking for? Oh, everything's all good. Okay, so let's go over to the printer. Cabling is still not 100% tidied up, but I didn't want to be messing about. We need to pull the Octopus out, need to put the new Octopus in, need to change all these wires over, and then we need to just very carefully go through everything. The other thing I did off stream was I went through and I labeled all of the stepper cables just to make life a lot less complicated next time. And yeah, we should be good. So first of all, let's quickly check that whether we need to remove that jumper or not. That one. Octopus Pro English. That's not what I was trying to click. That's what I was trying to click. There we go. Now you can see me again. So let's slowly scroll through this. Jumper settings, motherboard 16. Wiring. Page 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Here we go. So we are currently all set to onboard power. Yes, all set to onboard power. Need to adjust some of these fan voltages. That's easy enough to do. Store guard jumper settings, MCU power. So we need to remove that jumper in the middle. Okay, so this is what I was double checking for, guys. right in the middle here. That jumper needs to come out. That means that the chip will be powered directly from the 24-volt power. Well, via the regulators and stuff that I managed to blow up last time. We don't need to worry about the PT1000 stuff. Just skimming through, make sure nothing's been missed. That's not what I was trying to do. There we go. Now, the other thing I've done off stream, because we did it last time, is I flashed the firmware onto this already. There's no point repeating stuff we didn't need to. Yep, I think we're good. Okay, so let's have a quick catch up with chat. Hi, Nick. Who else is here? Hi, TJ. Hi, Jimmy John. Okay, so I submitted my Cyborg Trident for its serial. If anyone's interested, check it out on Discord. Nick is probably heckling. Glad you see the time taken time to do it right. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, so for those who came in late and didn't see this part, I have a jig that I made that I've put somewhere already that allows me to put all of my drivers on pretty accurately so they all line up, because OCD and stuff. I don't know where I've put it. It's disappeared. It'll turn up. But anyway, what we need to do next is we need to get that old Octopus out. And where did I put my phone? I can't remember where I've put my phone. Maybe it's in my jacket. Nope. It's gone. Let's ding it. It's in the kitchen. I'm not going for that. Okay, so let's get this board out and we'll just wing it. That is 0.25. That is 2 mil. Right. Now, I would ordinarily be using some Steve trays, but Mini Maker has just got herself another Lego, well, knockoff Lego set from AliExpress. And she has realized just how good they are for doing all the little tiny Lego pieces, and absconded with all my trays. So I'm going to have to print a couple more. So 1, 2, 3. HE goes in that port. Hi, Ballistic. Unplug the USB, untangle that. Aha! I've left myself in a silly position. I should have undone those cables first. And I'm doing this all off screen, aren't I? Sorry guys, I am failing hard today. There we go. You guys must be distracted because you're not complaining about it too much. Okay. Hi Tulsa, how are you? So, let's go back to here. Now, I'm going to quickly explain something. When I was troubleshooting why this board wasn't working reliably and some of the drivers weren't working, I installed motor power as a separate thing by patching it across from the normal 24-volt input. And yeah, it was just, it was easier to try and do that than some of the other things the seller was asking me to test. That's what these are for. We don't actually need them. So for those of you who are recently joined, this is the replacement for the board that we smoked on stream. This board was pre-depixied by a previous purchaser who then returned it to AliExpress, and the AliExpress vendor he tried to deny it, but there was those signs. There was no duck in the box, and there's all sorts of other things going on. So yeah, let's get this all checked out. We have to quickly set some voltages for the fans. Let's zoom in a little, shall we? There we go. So we need to get my tweezers, which are here. So new board, old board. That needs to be 5 volts. That needs to be 5 volt. Now what I do is any fans that I'm not currently using, I set to 5 volt as well as the ones I do need to be 5 volt. Just to protect things. These two ports are set to 12 for one very good reason. They're the side skirt fans, and that just keeps the noise down. That's all it's there for. Ballistic is currently building sandwiches. I hope you brought enough for everybody. It's what I make my class do. They eat in class. They better bring enough for everybody. So, double checking. 3 on 5, 2 on 12. Is it 12 or 24? I probably all got them for 5 because I'm only actually using those 2 on the... Yeah, I'm only using those at the moment, so that's fine. For some reason that is blocked out. Don't remember why, but I'll transfer that to be blocked out. And that all seems like it's going to be... Oh, wait a minute. That still has a voltage selector on that port, which we don't need, so just remove that. That's the CAN bus ballast pin. I'm going to leave it in place, even though I'm not using the board with CAN bus at this point. The chances are I'm going to reflash this to be the CAN bridge, and then use it as the CAN bus host and get rid of the U2C. Don't have the time, energy, or patience at this point to do that, so I need this printer back online. That's going to be a bridge I cross later. So, dodgy Octopus out of the way. New Octopus here. Let's pop that flap down for a bit and grab a screw to hold it in place. And hopefully, we're not going to smoke this board. Once I've got this all operational and tested, I do have this cooler that I've made. I think it's loosely based on a design from Printables. I've had it a while. There. So let's go through. I tried to sort this wiring so that it would be easier to deal with, and it's fallen off on me. So let's slowly go through this and work it out. So these two cables that are ridiculously thick are bed power. Let's do the sensible thing, guys. Oh no, I can't do the sensible thing. I've got a labeler for these tags, but it runs on my phone. So bed power negative is that one. Let's loosen all of these before we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bed power negative is that one. Now the reason I said this one was ridiculously a thick cable is because it's only powering the SSR. I could use the little thinnest cables imaginable and it would still be fine. Bed power positive. No, we haven't let any magic smoke out yet, Luke. Please don't jinx me. It's got very expensive. Just having a look at everything, making sure this all makes sense. What does this run to? That is the power input. Power input positive is that port. So as you can see, the power into the board is a smaller wire than the power to the SSR from the board. So just to give you a rundown, mains earth, mains neutral, mains active, low voltage ground, low voltage positive. Where does that go to? Well, that's board power ground. Double check that. Yep, board power ground. Don't worry, I'll be wiring up Voltage T6 later today. I'm able to smoke out myself. By default, that leaves these two to be the... wait a minute. I've just done this backwards and it's a good job I checked. Bear with me. Bed power input. So that's also power input. That's what I've done. All right. Not concentrating. I've installed these on the wrong spot. But it's easy fixed, and this is why I'm double checking everything as I go. I thought that tag here had come off the other the other rail. But anyway. Positive goes to there. That's really important with the Octopus boards. You double check the polarity of these outputs and inputs. Well, more importantly, the inputs, because they alternate on some of the ports. So bed output goes to the SSR, and bed input, which is really just a pass through of the 24 volt, goes to here. So that's the positive. So as you can see, these two positives are next to each other. What would have happened if I'd powered it up as is? The bed would have come straight on, bypassing the SSR, and would have cooked the thermal fuse. And while it wouldn't have burnt the house down, it would have been a pain in the backside because replacing those thermal fuses sucks. Move that round a little. There we go. Yep, you can still see. So let's double check against the cover. Negative, positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, unused. Next. That is the power for something. The LEDs. Not that one, that one. And it was in hot end 1. not done right. There we go. So I'll explain what just happened in a moment. Just concentrating to get it right. Where's the old board? Okay, so the way these connections work, they actually pull up the little plate inside. Let's try that one because it's going to be easier to see. There we go. You see that one moving up and down? So you need to unwind it so that the little jaw drops and then wind it back up to clamp it. So that's why you have to be super careful with these things. It's a little bit unintuitive if you've never done it before. Now, this last cable is less important which port it goes in. This is the positive feed for my CAN bus power. Why am I powering it from here? I've got a nice array of fuses here, whereas the U2C board that does the CAN bus doesn't have any fuses on it. So rather than run the risk of running an unfused high current connection, I run it from the positive output of a hot end, which is not being used, to get that fuse protection. Hi, Rod. Welcome in. Secure. Can tighten that down a little bit more. Now, I don't remember which ports they came out of, but I think it was those two. It shouldn't. And HE was the top one. Quickly checking on chat, nothing new. Right, so. One. Two. Z2, Z1. Aha, that's why it will be over here. That is Z0. Now properly cable route this later. And Z3. Z2 further first, there we go. Now will I go all-wheel drive on this? Or should I more appropriately say quad XY? I haven't decided. So let's count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In a minute. That's not in the right spot. After all of that, I still managed to stuff this up, but that's why I'm checking. Right, so let's double check this again. Stepper X/A, stepper Y/B, Z0, Z1, Z2, Z3. That's how they're done in the config. That is the, what connection? That's a fan connection, that's right. That goes into that port there. That goes into that port there. Looking for any more loose connections. There was one more here, which plugged into a 3-pin port. I can't remember which 3-pin port, so we'll have to check that in the config. So that's all ready to go. Slide this up into a more appropriate position and connect its data line. That's all ready to go. I'm not going to connect the MCU to the Pi yet. Let's power this all up and make sure nothing goes power first. Switch that off, power up that cord. Okay, the Pi is up. The Octopus has lights. I'm not sure if you can see them on the screen. 1, 2, 3 lights. So, fingers crossed. I'll leave it on the side camera for a minute just to make sure whether we get smoke or not. Our chat's doing that weird thing where it doesn't scroll again. Oh, I know what's going on. I'm just going to turn off chat, guys, because it's broken and I can't fix it in stream. There's a cookie that gets sent to my browser, which is then used to feed the chatbot, and not the chatbot, the chat overlay, and it's sometimes does strange things. So I need to update it. Okay, so where are we at? That's all live. Let us see if we can now get to the Raspberry Pi. We should be able to. It's just loaded. Let's go to screen 3. There we go. So it's saying printer is not ready because it's still trying to contact the MCU. We deliberately don't have it plugged in, so we can come down to printer config and we can double check what's supposed to be plugged in where. So let's have a quick look at the pin outs. Let's go reset hardware. Open in a new tab. There we go. So it's a 3-pin port of one of these end stops that is being used for something. So we're looking for a PG in the config. It's probably the Y end stop. End stop is in PG12. That's what we're looking for. So let's just clear that. So end stop PG12 here is what I need to plug that into. So let's quickly power that off. That's going to die in a moment. And we need to plug that into PG12. PG12 is end stop 4, which is that one next to the fans right there. So this one here. PG12 is that one. Double checking that makes sense. Ground and 5 volts, and PG12 is the outside one. Yes, that makes sense. Side cam. So I've just plugged that cable into that port there for you guys. And now, in principle, this will work. We didn't get any magic smoke the first time. There's no reason we should get any magic smoke the second. So I'm going to plug in the MCU data. And let's power it up. And that's quite normal for this fan to turn on and off by itself. It's got its own little temp controller built into the Raspberry Pi, so it just turns it on and off as it wants it. Okay, so that's all coming up. Let's switch back to screen 3 and mainsail, and it should be up any moment. Come on. So guys, we can't do anything until it sorts itself out. This Raspberry Pi needs a new flash on its eMMC. And until I get that done, I'm kind of stuck. Doopy-doo. Let's just make sure the IP address hasn't changed or anything. Oh no, mainsail's just come up. And we're in. We are getting errors. So let's just go through and solve them one by one. Printer config, and let's go just to make sure this is actually up to date. So what we're doing now is we're in printer.config, going into the devices. I need to disable the second CAN network, but that's something I can do in a minute. We need to go to USB and refresh. Actually, let's go to serial. Something I found that actually makes life a little simpler. If you come into here, it gives you the full address, whereas if you go into the USB one, it doesn't show you the full address. Let's close that. Control V, which didn't change anything as far as I can tell. I'm going to take a punt that it's the CAN bus connection that's not working. And that's what's bringing it down. No, it should be live. Do I have any lights on the toolhead? I have no lights on the toolhead. I do have lights on the toolhead. So let's start pinging around and see what's going on here. So let's save and restart this for a start. For a start. Oh, we're up. It must have been and Clipper is shutting down Y. I'm going to take a guess it's an ADC out of range. Which one? Heater bed. So the thermistor for the bed is not plugged in, or it's plugged into the wrong port. So let's double check those. It's alive! Yes, it certainly is. Hi, Nick, again. Checking for any comments. No. Clipper config stream. I'm trying not to make it too burdensome, Greg. Let's go to printer config. Let's go to bed temperatures. Control F, bed. Bed mesh, no. Heater bed. Heater pin is PA1, sensor pin is PF4. Now we know that that should be, let's zoom out on this. Thermistor ports are these ones. Aha. So let's do a quick search for PF. So I need PF3 and PF4 for this because I have an extra sensor. There we go. So PF5 and PF4. Hi, Jeff. Made it safely to work. Did you enjoy the ride on your dashboard? Who needs temperature sensors, YOLO? So we need 4 and 5, which is these two here, which is those two. And I've got one of them plugged. I've got them plugged over one. Let's do something sensible about this, guys. 2-pin JSTs. Power off. Let's go back to the side cam. So the problem we're having is that that one should actually be in there. And that one should be in there. Let's remove any risk of me doing something silly and dumb in the future. Well, reduce the risk of me doing anything silly or dumb. And put those in there and there. Like that. Fingers crossed. Let's power it back up. So the other thing I need to apologize to you guys about is the at everyone spammers for in the last week or so. We've gone ages and ages and ages and ages without anything silly happening, so I haven't bothered to fix it. But then all of a sudden, the last 2 weeks, we've had a whole bunch of everyone spammers, and I couldn't work out where they were inheriting their ability to get their everyone from. The Discord permissions are a mess. It's like a spaghetti mix-up of spider webs and stuff. It's hard. But I managed to work out that for some reason, the default permissions were being applied and then superseded by another set of permissions. And I've just taken that, all of those roles and automatic changes away. And I've basically made it so only moderators and myself can do at everyone now. And half of you guys are moderators anyway, all the regulars are. So the Raspberry Pi is booted. Just waiting for Moonraker to start. This whole Moonraker taking ages to start thing, I really don't know what's causing it. I've been through the logs and I can't find anything that would be the trigger. It just takes ages to start. So what I'm going to do is, once we've got it working and I've backed up all my configs, I'm going to go through and reflash the eMMC on the Pi 5 and go from there. There's a brand new version of Mainsail OS that should solve it all. I was talking to Phil Ree the spammer, but they must have attacked whilst I was sleeping. Okay, we have lights. We have many, many lights. Let's go to here. Let's go to here. So let's go screen 3. There we go. Now you can see what I can see. You don't really need to worry about what's going up here. This is just the extruder settings during print. 20.6 for the extruder seems reasonable. Heated bed seems reasonable. Build plate seems reasonable. Cartographer's onboard chip seems reasonable. The cartographer coil seems reasonable. The chip on board the EBB board seems reasonable. Octopus's power, yeah, everything seems reasonable. So, which way do we start this? I think we start this by setting this to 25 and go enter. And the extruder does heat up, so we can set that off again. So that's 25. Now, there's going to be a little bit of latency as this comes up. Both the build plate and the heated bed come up. So just to give you an idea what's going on, the heated bed is a thermistor in the center of the bed, and the build plate measures the edge of the bed. The reason I did that is that it then gives me an idea of how much heat soak is going on. And in principle, I could set a macro that would read the heat soak and then not allow the printer to start unless the delta between the two, the difference between the two temperatures, is less than a certain amount. Let's print peak. Not quite yet. So we can see that the bed is working. So let's set that off again. And those temperatures are coming back down. Cartography we don't need to worry about. I'm just going to check the tool head. It's not touching the bed or anything silly. That's all good. And let's try the tool. Oh, we tried the tool head, didn't we? Yep. So that's all fine. I'm happy to say that that's fine. Let's watch the tool head melt off. I'm not Taylor. I am not having the front fall off. Okay. One of the things that we were seeing was that we were having strange things happen with our steppers. So let's very carefully rotate this around. Check what's on the top first, Phil. I know what that's sitting on. There. Touchdown. Okay. My wife thinks I'm mad for keeping the big bit of foam that came with the original v2.4 kit, but it's amazing. You can lay the printer over on it. Throw a shrimp on the build plate? Maybe. Still need to replace that, but I managed to go around and replace all the others. So that's a win. Right. I am not going to YOLO. Can't afford to damage too many things at the moment. And I'm going to take the other build plate out, but I am going to put this damaged build plate in so we can do things like test the Kato. Side cam. So here we are. We have already pre-damaged build plate to protect the good one. I'm not sure if I've told you guys, but I went all out. I put cable sleeves on. I'm assuming you mean mad, Jeff. I agree with her. You are definitely most definitely mad. So let's go to this one and let's turn that one on. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go around and we're going to stepper buzz everything because I just want to make sure. Sacrificial build plate is a good idea. So as you can see, I've got stepper buzz for stepper X. That's not doing anything. That should be doing things. Oh no, it didn't hit enter, so maybe that's why it's not. What? Is that a network thing? Did the Raspberry Pi shit itself? Let's power it off. Let's pull it forward so I can see underneath to the screen if I need to. Power on. Not sure what's going on here, guys. You can do it, Pi. Am I scrolling? No, don't seem to be. Don't seem to be losing any frames. All we did was flip it over. Let's power it off one more time. Aha. I did trap the network cord. So maybe that's what did it. Possible the IP address changed as well, but it says it's on the same IP address it was a few minutes ago. So let's give it a few moments while it sorts its shit out. There you go. Doopy 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 doo, doopy doopy doo, doopy 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 doo. You know the first thing we're going to do once we've got all this tested? We're going to back up all of my config files. Once we've got all that backed up, that gives me margin to be able to just reflash this Raspberry Pi 5. Come on. Anything? It's just, there we go, main sail's up. Woohoo! Okay, let's try this again. Stepper buzz X. I can hear that buzzing away. You guys probably can't, but I can hear it. Stepper buzz Y. Instant reboot. Unable to read UART stepper Y. Okay. So, machine. Printer config. Stepper X, stepper Y. Let's go through all this very carefully. that's what I need to do. On. Let's chuck this up there. Chuck this over here. Chuck that there. So we have a UART issue. It was unable to talk to the stepper Y UART pins. Stepper Y is this one. My eyes are too bad. I can't see that well enough from here. And this doesn't have the pin out for the let's go Octopus Pro 1.1. Schematic. Here we go. So driver 0, driver 1. That's what I need. Sorry guys, I'm just zooming in so I can read the schematic on my screen. Seven, 2, 3, here we go. What do we currently have it set to? UART pin is currently PD3. That diagram doesn't give us anything, that's right. I'm just in the in another PDF on my other screen here. Sorry guys, I know I'd rather have it up in front of you. Here we go, UART mode. Those are already set. Give me the pinouts. Give me the pinouts. That's what I need. And it's way too small to read. Here we go. Enable should be PF15. Oh, so that's all completely wrong according to this. Okay, so it looks like this driver is all set up wrong. $15.0. Ah, okay. Looks like this is what I need to do. Let's go. I've worked it out, I think. Not that one. No, not that one. This one. This one actually has what we need on it. Let's download it. There we go. So we are dealing with driver 1. Driver 1's UART is PD11. Okay. PD11. I need to very carefully scroll down. And somewhere on here is the rest of the pins. There we go. Driver 1. PF15 is enable. You know what I'm going to do, because it annoys me? I'm going to reorder these so that this is the same order as the egg box. Enable is 15, step is 0. PF15 PG0. PF15 PG0. Yes, sorry, Ballistic, I've been concentrating on this. I did definitely settle the UART jumpers. So it's so enable is PF15. Enable PF15. Step is PE6 or PG0. I think it's PG0, PG0. So as you can see, it looks like at some stage in my configs, I have moved things around. That's almost certainly going to be PG1 now. Yes, PG1 for the direction pin. And double check PD11, PD11. So, no, both boards aren't the same revision. There is a minor difference for, I think it's driver 4 that I will double check in a moment. So there we go. Let's get rid of that one and go back to read.md. So hot end 0, we're not using. Hot end 2, we're not using. So we don't need to worry about those pins. Motor enable on motor 4, which is driver 3, instead of being PA0 is PA2. So we need to go through and double check that. So this PA0 on driver 3 needs to be updated to PA2. And I did spot this the other day when I was doing some pre-work, and I have reported it to Big Tree Tech, and they are going to update the egg box here to change this to be driver 3. So that's already in the work. So that would be driver Z1 on my config. So that needs to become, let's double check this one more time, a PA2. Enable needs to be PA2 on that one. So I think what we need to do is go through this very carefully and check that everything is set properly. So let's go to I'm just going to bring this. How am I going to do this easy way? Let's do this. Shift. That's not what I was trying to do. This one needs to go there. Then I need that one. Close it. That one. Goes there. Which means I can now get to there. Okay, so sorry about that. Just rearranging everything to make it more logical for me. So stepper driver 0 is not that. Okay, so good job I'm coming through and sorting this out. Let's go through this properly. Let's set this to, I thought I'd already done this. I must have not saved my work. So that's PF14. Sorry guys, I didn't really want this to be that's 13. That is direction pin of 12. I didn't want this to be a clipper configuration string. And the UART pin for that one, let's double check that. Driver 0 is PC4. Safe. Can't screw that up any further. Well, can, but less likely to. Stepper Y, enable PF15, step is PG0, direction is PG1, and UART, which is also CS, is PD11. All right. Now I'm getting it. So CS and UART are the same pins. stepper Z, which is actually on that driver there. It's PG5 PF11. Right, let's rearrange this again so it matches the egg box. PG5, PF11, PG3 for direction, and PC6. So let's save that. Z1 is, let's rearrange it first. Let's not break what we're doing. So this is the one that we need to be careful about. Just going through this in my brain, making sure I'm not making these silly mistakes. PA0 is enabled. So that's a completely different set of pins. All right, let's slowly go through this. Enable is PA0. But we know from the other page that it's actually PA2. Double checking that. Motor enable was driver 3, PA2. Right. Step pin is PG4. Am I doing this wrong? Yes, I am. I'm doing this all wrong. There. And Shift S to do a new screenshot. Right. That's better. So Z is this one. Z1 is this one. PA2, PG4, PC1, and PC7. So that's done. Z2 is on driver number 4, which is, yeah. Let's go back to here. to here. Slide this across a little. Right. Put that there. Sorry guys, I'm struggling. Right, PG2 is correct. PF9 is correct. PF10 is correct. PF2 is correct. Right, back on track. For this one, Z3. PF1 is enabled. Just checking something. I had this all asked about before, didn't I? Okay, so that's all fixed. So Z3 is plugged into driver 5, which is PF1 to enable. PC13 for stepping. Direction pin is PF0 and E4 for the UART. Save and restart. What's this complaining about? It's saying it was undervolted, which I highly doubt. Anyway. Let's go back to here and maximize the screen. It's not cold enough for the dude, it's freezing here. I've just got 3 t-shirts on. That little message out for Olaf at Bontech was pretty bamboo thing to do this morning. Well, people are hating on Olaf, but Olaf's been copying so much flack, he's pretty much over it, so. Hi, Brad. He's basically telling all the haters to F off. So, in principle, this now works. I stressed the principle part. So, let's try this again, shall we? Step abuzz X. Yep, that's moving. Wait for that to time out. Done. Step a Y. Also moving. So that's all good. And now let's go Z. The motor we're expecting is doing its job. Z1 should be the back corner. Indeed it is. That's this corner. And let's do Z3 just to round it out. Yep, that one's working. Smoke-free cephalopod. Don't jinx me, dude. Oh, hi, Penguin. Sorry, I didn't see you come in. Right. Let's see if it homes. But let's be sensible about this. Let's disable all the motors. Move the head to the center of the bed. And let's home X. That worked. So let's put X back in the center of the bed. $175, not $275. More or less the center of the bed. Let's now home Y. Let's go here. Okay, so that's homing in the wrong direction. Emergency start. Firmware restart. So Y is homing in the wrong direction. So machine, printer CFG, Y, direction, exclamation mark, save and restart. I'm definitely going to run a calibration on the probe, Brad. Right, so we know X homes in the right direction, so let's do that one more time. Uh-oh. I think we have X and Y swapped. That's easy enough to fix. Machine. Printer config. Y and Y. X and X. Let's put that direction pin back again, because the chances are there was nothing wrong with it. It was just that we got the steppers backwards. Okay. Save and restart. Move the tool head to the center so we've got more time. It homed X, but the end stop wasn't set properly. Okay, I know what's going on now. That's easy to fix. Printer config. Control C. Control V. Control C and delete. Control V. Delete. Save and restart. Okay, we're getting there, guys. It's not pretty, but we're getting there. Stay. Dashboard. Home X. Let's move that to 175. That's home Y. That's fine. Move that to 175. Okay. Home Z. It homed. It homed. Take off the sacrificial build plate. Let's do another quick check of all the thermistors. Now we've got to turn the right way up. 25. 25. Yep, that's all working. I think that that's all more or less as it's supposed to be. Just noticed one of these panels isn't quite right, so bear with me a sec. Okay, that's all in. There is something we haven't checked. Okay, so let's go side cam. Let's get some filament. There. Mm. $250, actually $220. Just to make sure I've not screwed anything up, I haven't changed this config, but I'm gonna just make sure 100% that the extruder is in the right direction. Doopy 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 doo. 190. Extrude, feed rate, distance, extrude. And retract. That works. So let's go for a longer extrude distance. And Another longer extrude distance. And it's purging out the filament that was in there. Purging, purging, purging. Let's give it another 10 mil. And now it seems to be purging black. Okay, so I think we're good there. Let's set that to 80 and retract. Is that too long or something? Must be too long. Okay. That works. Woo! Max set and stop and max position also need to be swapped. Good point. Let's go to here, machine, printer config. They're probably not actually that dissimilar, but let's just have a look. Yeah, 5.5 versus 5.0. Good catch, thank you. Now, what time is it? It is almost the end of my stream window. I had planned, before we got sidetracked by all that change in the config, to do an A4T build. Should we give that a try? Let's shut all that down. So that's all disabled. Let's turn that to 0. That's all shutting itself down. Okay, so A4T build. I just need to quickly steal the hot end out of here. So that's being held in by those two screws, which are these, I think. Now, I'm not going to promise we're going to get this done today. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're not, because I'm pretty sure we're going to need some glue, and the glue is in the fridge upstairs, away from the kids. All right. So let's swap to my hands, turn that camera around. At least it pushed plastic. Yes, it did, which is more than it's done for about 9 weeks. Now, the other things that have been going on around here is I have been doing lots of micro soldering. I used to do it quite a lot when I was a lot younger, part of my engineering stuff, but that was 25 years ago, which is a scary thought. So I've been trying to teach myself to do it again. I've got, as you guys saw a couple of weeks ago, I've got myself a hot air station, and I've also picked myself up a very nice soldering tip station to get that done with. And this is what I've been working on. Let's go. There we go. Now, for scale, no. The transistors here are all done using the soldering tips, soldering iron, and all of these are done with hot air, and you can tell the difference. The other thing I've been working on is doing the chip packages. Not perfect. This one is quite messy, but that one came out really nice. So yeah, that's another thing I've been working on. So hot end is out. I've just realized I took the LEDs to work with me the other day and didn't bring them home. So this is going to be pointless anyway. For those of you who haven't seen A4T before, there's a little shroud that goes in to hold the fan in, which is here. And that slots in. Now the way DW Taz has designed this, the tolerances are all very, very fine, so that it all just basically clicks together with almost zero fastness for the most part. That's not sitting in nicely. You know what, guys? I think that discretion is probably the better part of valor on this, and I'm going to be better off calling this and doing this as a separate stream. I'm a bit mentally done after all of that work with the Octopus. He says he keeps going and going and going. Yeah, I'm going to call it. This can be next week. Now, what's coming up on the streams? Back to me. We have, yes, it looks like I used Flux. Definitely did use Flux. Are you going to start reballing GPUs? GPUs, not immediately, but I do have a Raspberry Pi 3, which has seen better days. You can't tell as, well, there you go. That's what a cleaned up side looks like. See how dull and icky that is? And all the corrosion up here? That's from being used as an aquarium controller, a saltwater aquarium controller. So, deep breath. Next couple of streams. Next week, almost certainly won't have index by then. It's going to take a little bit of time to get here. The week after, depending on logistics, if the index is turned up, then hopefully that will be the first index stream. If not, we will continue on with the Voron and building the A4T, and then the week after we'll do index. It all comes down to the timing of when index arrives. I'm waiting for my email to say it's been shipped. Could be any time in the next 24, 36, 48 hours. Don't know. The first emails have gone out. People are complaining already, as people are abusing Olaf, the Bondtech rep. So yeah, as soon as that comes, I'm sure I'll post a photo on my Discord to say it's arrived, and I'll probably post one to YouTube as well, and I'll give more details on when we're going to exactly do that stream. There is a small possibility that I might stream with somebody who's also got one coming, just so we've got a bit more banter and a bit more chat and a bit more fun going on when we do all this. But we will see next month. What will be next month, Jimmy? Because it's almost the end of June now, so it's definitely going to be in July sometime. So when index shows up, I'll post all the details. We'll publish when the streams are going to be. I want to get it built reasonably quickly. How the other person feels about that and all the rest of it, still got to chat with them more over the weekend. Ready just for Christmas. No, Jeff. We will get this all sorted out. I will get communicated out to you guys what's happening, when, why, and how, and we will go from there. So with that all being said, I have been Phil. That has been a Voron that's taken me a long time to get sorted out. This is the A4. Let's go back to it. That's not even in the right spots either. Give up, Phil. The A4T, I'll get all that finessed ready for next week, so it's all ready to go. I have been Phil. I have been the Down Under Maker. It's time for me to hop on out of here. Bye, guys. Oh, hi, Rod. Bye, Rod.